everybody, this is Tippy.
And this is Jo.
And you're listening to the Tippy Jo Show, sponsored by BetterHelp.com/The Barn. It's Tippy
and Jo.
And you're watching the Tippy Jo Show, of course. Today we have Jaycen Wakefield and Kodi Hood with us here in the studio. How you guys doing today?
Good. Wonderful. Absolutely great.
Fantastic. Now, Jaycen, you are a local musician. Kodi, you are as well. But let's talk a little bit about you, Jaycen. Tell us, first of all, before we even start, I want people to know where they can find you.
So you can find me on like Facebook, Instagram, anywhere there. It's spelled Jaycen. My parents were deadheads. That's what I tell everybody. So they spell it a little different, but Wakefield's spelled Wakefield. But
nice.
That on Facebook, and then on Instagram, it's just Jaycen.music. So
very cool.
We'll get some stuff to Spotify before long.
Before too long.
Like a lot of people, this day and age, Facebook is kind of the primary spot where attention happens.
Yeah.
So
especially in this specific area, more Facebook heavy than any other platform. Unfortunately, because Facebook is the worst. I hate it so much. So Kodi, you run Honeycomb Media?
That's David Combs.
Yep.
That's our prior bandmate.
Oh,
yep.
I gotcha.
We're in Somebody's Dog. He was our drummer / social media manager. So he did all of our videos. I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of them, like our road diaries or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he was responsible for all that stuff. So.
Oh, cool.
But he's got his own production company now, and he's doing that same kind of stuff for other bands and other people. So.
Very cool. Yeah, totally. This whole time I thought it was you.
Oh,
I was like, look at him go! I was so proud of you.
Yeah, you should take credit.
Yeah, you should have been like, totally, that was me for sure.
Which he's doing some great stuff. He just shot a video for Top Guns. That's like a shout out one. There and a couple of other big things where he's been on some larger stages. But for myself, I guess probably I primarily just run under my own name, but I do have a page for Single Lane Productions for sound and lights and gear help and things of that nature. So if you put a name on me other than me, it'd be that, really. But most people probably just know me by name and from their shows and our shows. And
yeah, we've seen, I think that's where I ran into you the first time was at a show, setting up some lights and stuff.
Probably so.
Maybe, who knows? Short-term memory, gone.
Well, and your social media presence is really strong, so I knew you from there before, and so that always kind of blurs together.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy when you're like connected with somebody digitally for so long, and then you meet them in person, and it's like we're best friends already. You know?
It's definitely weird. That really speaks to our day and age. I think
it does,
because I mean you'll know somebody for years before you actually know them.
Yeah.
These days, and it's interesting.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, there are a lot of people who know you for years, but you don't know them at all. Yep. And when you meet them, they're like, "Hey, it's me," and you're like, "I'm sorry, who?"
Yeah, I've run into a little of that myself.
Especially really close to home. Really close to home. That's a lot for me.
Yeah, we come from a little tiny town. I don't know if you'd say that we're from Redford or Ellington. We're both kind of in between, out there, out in the woods, and. But I mean, we've got 700-800 people in Ellington, and Redford has maybe 200.
Tiny places.
So I mean, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
So it's weird, like coming up into bigger circles and seeing how things interact in a different way than what you're used to.
Yeah, for sure. I can only imagine, like a culture shock for you almost.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that to an extent, but yeah, kind of along those lines. It's just different than the norm. How things roll down there, for sure.
So when you were there, did you start music while you were still living there?
Yeah, so I ended up I played bass for Somebody's Dog. I wasn't the original bassist for their band, but they came along and messaged me on Facebook. I was doing a little bit of, media production for myself and like posting a few of cover songs and originals on Instagram. And David Combs, Honeycomb Media, he messaged me and was like, "Hey, when are you gonna come play bass for us?" And I was like, "Just say the word." He's like, "Well, I'm saying it." So
nice.
It's like, okay, yeah, sure. So we ended up getting together and playing music for a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah,
probably about a year and a half, I would say. And that's how I got my introduction into this industry and
nice
this scene, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So whenever you first started out, you were with them. Is that the only, like, did you go solo out before, or was it only first time was with somebody's dog?
I mean, I'd played on stage before, live by myself,
Yeah.
you know, school stuff when I was a kid, which I'm fairly young. So yeah, I didn't
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Gross.
So yeah. Yeah. But no, I didn't have very much experience in that front. So
Okay.
Well, and some like parking lot type stuff, some
like a little
bonfire type
busking
stuff.
and
well,
whatnot.
yeah, a little, you know, group of friends get together, like, hey, this guy plays guitar, play for everybody, that kind of sort of thing.
Oh,
So,
gotcha. So you kind of started out with the, like, don't take offense, douche with the guitar vibes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
No,
it's
exactly.
nice.
Yeah, for
You're like,
sure.
there's a bonfire? I got a guitar.
Yeah, I still rock those every once in a while.
Love it. You gotta. There's always got to be somebody. You know what? They
Yep.
make the time the best time, so it's okay.
Yep.
The guy with the guitar often gets made fun of, but
He was asked to
everybody
come. It
singing
sounded
along.
like
That's
it.
what
when
I'm
it's by
saying.
popular
You're
demand.
right.
Depending on
popular
that,
demand,
you know,
yeah.
I'm sure there were a few crowds of people who were like, "Yeah, like, somebody shut this guy up."
But
And, you know, I mean,
too
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Jealousy.
I try not to be, especially as I've, you know, learned the trade a little better. I try not to be that guy whenever
Yeah.
I can. So
That's too funny. No, I do think people appreciate it. It's just a long running joke, you know. The guy with the guitar at a party.
oh, for sure.
Always got to be one. That's okay though.
He's changing the game for us. He's bringing it
Yeah.
back.
So I was saying earlier, I guess this is the second time that we've run into each other out
Yes.
here. I've known about your social media presence, but I hadn't actually gotten to know you yet. So this is a pretty cool experience.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here today.
Yeah,
I'm
she
glad I
does
get to learn a little
everything.
more about you.
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff. I probably do too much.
I think I originally heard about you through Chad Winch.
Oh yeah,
From the
because you
barn
went out to the
podcast.
barn.
Yep,
You
yep.
did your little session out there with them
Yep.
at the barn. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, he spoke very highly of you. So
Oh, that's so
yeah.
sweet.
Chad's a great guy.
That's our dad. We love him.
He's the podfather of the region.
He is the podfather. Yes, I
wow.
love it.
Coin that terminology right there.
We need to get him a shirt
that
made.
shirt made.
Yes.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Yes.
He'd love that.
He would.
That's fantastic.
I'm calling Lindsay right now. We'll have it tomorrow. Speaking of shirts, by the way, ours will be done and brought up tomorrow.
You had
We got special
some good ones.
made Tippy Jo Show shirts.
Oh yeah.
Custom designed. I designed them. I'm super excited
Nice.
about them. They'll be
Nice.
in
There's some really great
tomorrow.
designs in there. I scrolled through them all.
Yeah,
I-
my design's not in there. This
Yeah,
is
these ones are
limited
special
edition.
ones.
This is special
Oh.
edition. Yeah,
Okay.
That are locally
okay.
sourced, locally made.
yeah.
Cool.
So that's what I should purchase then.
Yeah, so you
Oh,
gotta
of
come down to
course.
Smoke to Valhalla on Saturday. We'll be there at 2.
Cool.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're having their grand opening over there in their new location, so it's going to be really, really neat. A lot of
That will be
bands
pretty
coming
cool.
out. And then also, Broseph Tucker is playing at the Bullpen, which is right next door. So
Yeah.
it's a great time to hit them both up.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
I like
Yeah.
pulling the combo move like that
Me
for sure. With us
too.
being far from everything, that's
Yeah.
the way to be.
It's like a
I mean,
perfect
it's hard for
polar
me to
shift.
get any free time to do anything these days. I mean, short of play music, I've kind of got a deal going there till I can get worked out. But no, I'm lesser known to some of the people that follow me or know me. I'm a father at first, so I've always got to be there and taking care of that family stuff first. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to get a break sometimes to do this kind of stuff. So
Right,
it's,
right. It's easy to justify it when it is a gig, you know,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that's work, that's a
Yep.
job. And although being a musician and going out into the scene, it's great for networking. Like that is an important
Absolutely.
part of it.
Absolutely.
But I understand being a mom myself,
a lot
like
of work,
you get
too.
that guilt, you know, that
Oh, definitely.
that parent guilt. How many kids do you have?
well, I've got a son, and then my girlfriend has 2 children, so we have 3 together.
Oh, cool. Very cool. What are their ages?
I've got 3, 4, and 5. And the 4-year-old's going to be 5 in July, sorry. And then the 3-year-old will be 4 in August.
Yeah.
So they're all really close in age. So I don't know if you've dealt with very many toddlers, but you get your
gets
hands
really
full.
rowdy
Oh,
there,
yeah.
don't it?
No. God bless my girlfriend Julie. She she does a great
She
job.
holds it down, huh?
Yes, she does. She
Yeah,
does a great
that's
job.
Good.
She
That's
does a great
very,
job.
very good. So what's it like for you to be able to balance that work life?
It's difficult for sure. Certain things come into play that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
So, like you said before, the guilt, obviously.
Yes.
And then on top of that, I do work a full-time job. So
Yeah.
when you're trying to balance all 3 of those things, it can become pretty hectic. But
Oh, yeah.
I seem to make do all right.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
At least according to me. I don't know how she's feeling.
He does a good job at that, but he works hard for it. You know, that's
Yeah.
that takes conscious
Absolutely.
effort. I'm sure. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind too when you start to feel that parent guilt. Like, hey, man, this is for a good cause. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in that I'm not doing enough phase, but we don't like that.
No.
So tell me a little bit about your music. If nobody's ever heard of you before, tell me what your style is.
I don't really, I don't know what I would call it. So Kodi and I, he plays electric guitar and I play acoustic. So we're kind of an acoustic electric duo. And I would say my music is somewhere between pop, rock, and country.
Okay.
With a little alternative. So it's different. I don't necessarily, I've heard other people play similar songs, but I don't want to be that guy to, this is a new thing. But I play unique stuff, I would say. Not to get a big head. But.
Yeah. And now you're doing originals and covers, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
For a live performance situation, anyways.
Yeah.
For a lot of anything like this where we have the openness to, we've been really trying to lean on originals because Jace has some great songs and tends to be well received, so it's kind of the right atmosphere for it.
How many completed originals do you guys have?
Well, completed, that's an interesting.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
They're always
I know
work
there
in
could
progress.
be 50, but
That's me and Chad kind of talked about that on the Barn podcast. It's like, how do you know when a song's ever done? I don't really know that you ever know when a song is done, but all in all, I would say we probably have 8 to 12 somewhere. Somewhere in that range, depending on how you want to look at them.
You got a whole album, son. That's a lot.
For sure, the better part of an album.
Yeah.
For sure,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are most of them on streaming services right now?
None of them.
None of them?
No,
There's a couple here and there if you
I'm a
if
bit
you look.
perfectionist on stuff like that, so I hate to put anything out that's not, and I think all artists are this way. But you hate to put anything out that's not what you would call a finished product.
Right.
So,
I get that.
I've been just finessing them here and there for the past couple years. I mean, I have songs going back to the time I was 16 years old.
to maybe have that completed album done
Yeah,
and
I would-
then
I
let
would
the
like to
people
have
have
it
a little
all-
bit of it.
All ready
Yeah,
at once.
I get that.
Just ready to go.
Well, and over the years, as your skill set evolves,
Yeah.
that kind of changes things as the bar gets set higher and higher for what you want to release to the public.
yeah.
Then
and as
that's
you meet new people too, like
that too.
getting
yeah.
Kodi and becoming friends with him and getting him as a lead guitarist
Yeah.
has really, it's helped me as a musician and as a songwriter. And he doesn't give himself enough credit for that, but he's awesome.
You're doing a good job, Kodi.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think so too.
Good job.
You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you. So tell me about, so you said you have some songs that you wrote like way back when you were 16. So that music, does it still hold value for you now, or do you feel like your style has evolved away from what it was?
It does. So it holds value in the sense of like the nostalgia of it.
Okay,
So
I
like
get
looking
that.
back on the person I was back then, and how that person thought they had it all figured out, and like
Yeah.
here I am now looking back on it. So that's interesting for sure to play songs that I wrote way back then,
Mm-hmm.
and hear them now. I feel like you don't relate to them as much,
Yeah.
but you understand where you were in that point in life,
Right.
and how you related to them then. So
That is so cool because, like, when you think about evolving and growing and changing, you don't always see the differences in things.
No.
Like, you don't see the big changes that have happened. So that's kind of like a side-by-side photo, but in music form. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you look at your transformation, when you see the before and you see the after, and you're like, oh, wow, okay, that is different. So that's cool because that's what that is.
I'm kind of working on a
with you
song
music.
about that
Oh, really?
sort of concept. It's in my head only, but yeah, I have some idea for some piece that's very similar to what you just said.
Right on. Maybe I thought of it first. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe so.
maybe it's a collective consciousness.
I want a producer credit on the bottom. No, I'm just
We could collaborate.
Yeah.
kidding. Collective consciousness. I do believe in that.
Yeah, I thought it's
Smart
well
stuff.
as an artist, it seems because you don't really have at least I've never met an artist that has a good explanation for where ideas come from. It seems like they're almost presented to you in a weird way.
Do you listen to a lot of podcasts first, I should say?
I do. So I listen to I would say mainly probably Joe Rogan's show. He it's the biggest. I hate to be mediocre, but
A lot of
Not anymore. They just got
Peterson,
kicked out of
I
their
watch a lot
top
that.
spot.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I've been listening to probably JRE for probably going on 5-10 years now. So
Cool. Well, there is a podcast that's called The Telepathy Tapes. Have you heard that
yes,
one?
actually, I
Did you
have.
listen to it?
Yeah, it's that's very interesting.
love it.
Very interesting about the nonverbal
Yes.
autistic kids.
So
That's
you talking
very cool.
about artists can't explain where the ideas come from. And in that podcast, they talk about how they receive the information like in a dream. You know, it's like a download, like a thought download. It's not their own. And even J.K. Rowling, when she wrote the Harry Potter books, she did interviews and they asked her, you know, how did you come up with this idea? How did you come up with this world? And she said, I'll be honest with you, I didn't. I had a dream and it came to me in the dream. And when I woke up, I had to transcribe it. It wasn't mine though. It came to me and I had to get it on paper.
It's wild.
Isn't it?
I think that there is some sort of mass information base out there that artists have some sort of unique talent to be able to pull from.
Some of them.
Yes. Yeah. There's some that think they have it for sure.
Of course.
And not to be, that way, but
I mean, there's always going to be, always
posers.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. But you do believe in that whole.
Yeah, I do for sure. So like writing songs, I've always found that they'll kind of like present themselves to you in a weird way. Like maybe you're in and I myself have to be in an emotional point in my life to write the kind of music that I have been writing. So to find myself in that spot, it almost seems like it opened a doorway to something from somewhere else that just puts the words into my head, puts the chords and the melody, and you can just hear it. And if you don't play it, then, somebody else might. So you better grab it.
So when you're writing a song, are you words first or music first or both?
It just depends. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah, for sure.
I always like to learn people's processes because someday I'm going to write a damn song.
Oh, you will. Well, that's the thing, like becoming an artist, like I say it because I've been playing guitar since I was 8 years old, but I think that that's accessible to anybody. Yeah. I think everybody's got that creative gene inside them, and if you nourish it in the right kind of way, you'll have access to that muse or whatever you want to call it, collective consciousness.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool stuff.
You've been working on your ukulele, correct?
I have.
You have. I've seen
I
those. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I've owned it for like 2 years now, I think. But
brought it out to put it away. Brought it back out.
Yeah.
When I first, so my mom actually bought it for me because I had been forever and ever just been like, I want a ukulele, So finally for my birthday one year, she bought me a ukulele and I was like, that's so cool. And then I put it in the corner.
Yep.
And then every day I'd be like, look at that ukulele. I didn't know how to use it, but I just thought it was so cool over there. And then I did, I think last year sometime I did pick it up and learned a couple of chords, but I don't know. It was a struggle for me, and I don't know why, but it's like it took so long until it didn't. You know what I mean? Like I was really struggling, and then it just kind of clicked. And then I was like, oh, well, that wasn't as hard as I made it out to be. I think I overcomplicated it for myself.
That's the hardest thing whenever you're playing an instrument. And I've tried to explain this to people who don't play, and they just can't get it. Like you've almost got to be beside yourself in a sense, because if you're focusing on trying to play something, it seems like you're just like trying too hard and you're gonna mess it up. You just kind of got to let go of that and just be, and it flows a lot better that way for sure.
For sure. Now, whenever I am playing, so in the beginning I could not wrap my brain around singing and playing at the same time. That didn't make sense to me. It doesn't work out.
It still doesn't for me. It still doesn't for me at all.
Is that a disconnect for you?
That is a disconnect for me that I if I put more focused effort into that, perhaps, eventually, but it will take serious effort. I don't think that one's just going to click for me personally. I could be wrong.
You could be wrong. Because I mean, I did struggle for a hot minute with the whole singing and strumming and fingers moving, and I was like, this is too many things to do at one time.
Well, and I might be biased from the way that instruments tend to come pretty smoothly, naturally for me, especially with the way that I've kind of developed my ear is brute force, essentially.
Yeah.
So I can hear things out, feel things out pretty well on an instrument, and so maybe that might leave me a little bit biased as well.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
Versus a complete. I do believe that's a separate skill to do both than it is to do either one. So
I would say so, because you have to figure it out. So it is a skill that you do have to learn to do.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a question.
that kind of stuff tends to come back to you.
It does a little
stop
later.
Thinking about it though.
I know,
almost
right?
like what we were talking about just a minute ago. If you're sitting there thinking, what word was I thinking in my head? You know, if you're sitting there trying to find it, you won't ever.
Then it'll be completely blank for the whole time.
Long gone.
Yeah, that's so true. That's how it happens.
But no, playing and singing it's definitely a bridge that like anybody who does it has to cross, because you know the two on their own are their own things, but when you combine the two, I feel like what you said, like that's its own skill to disconnect the part of your body that's playing, you know, your hands and your mouth and vocal cords and lungs. That's all to disconnect, but also get them in sync. It's weird. It's a skill on all.
Yeah, anybody who can just pick up an instrument and play it is wild to me. And anybody who can pick up an instrument and play it and then also sing at the same time, just like naturally. You know, some people just have like natural abilities. Yeah. Like Michael Watson, for instance.
Oh gosh.
Dude, he come on the show and we were like, how long you been playing guitar? And he's like, I just got this thing 2 weeks ago. And we were like, shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Never played before, didn't know what he was doing, picked it up, made magic. I was like, that's stupid.
Awesome.
He's great.
They just released their new song. I believe it's called Design.
It is.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I listened to it. We listened to it on the way here, actually.
Great track.
Yep.
Great track. Really
it.
did.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Now they got 2 tracks out now, so you can
Design
get Savior and Design. Yep.
Part of his secret too, though, is that he's been playing lead for a long time. He's a great lead player.
Now it's the overalls, man. Come on.
That doesn't
That's
hurt
where he keeps
either.
his talent.
That
Keeps
don't
it in
hurt.
his overall pocket right there.
Not to take anything away from him at all. He's such a fantastic musician,
He is.
vocalist, everything too. But I think some of that applies with having an ear for certain things. That helps a little bit. You know? But yeah, what a great piece of work they've just put out, and
Yeah.
lots of talent there.
Yeah. So do you guys like to collaborate with other artists?
You know, we've never actually like gotten together and wrote a song with another
Yeah.
group of artists, but you know, just like jamming and sessions like that, I don't think there's a musician out there that doesn't, you know, enjoy that, and if they do, you know, fuck them.
Right. Right.
You know, I feel like that's what it's about, is like bringing
Yeah.
people together. So yeah, for sure, we enjoy collaborating, I guess, with other artists
Nice.
in a sense of just getting together and jamming, playing music for the love of it.
That's one of my favorite things for sure. And with as much as I've kind of made a habit and hobby of studying other musicians and just kind of the intricacies of whatever they are doing, I feel like almost anybody, if I watch them perform, I can find something that is a unique, genuine, real compliment, no matter what, about the way that they are doing what they're doing. I will find something, no matter what their performance looks like. I will find something to be like, that's really cool that you do that.
Cody
in particular,
so supportive.
That's
He's the
great.
They might
best. He's
suck
the most.
at everything, but like, but that
Yep.
was good.
But you sucked better than anybody else.
Yeah, he always, even if I'm singing terrible, he's got to give me credit on something. I'm like, come on, man. He's super supportive. He doesn't get enough credit for that.
Needed,
but he's awesome.
you know, you need a hype guy
but
in your life.
it's always real because of that practice. So whatever I say, it might be something kind of off the wall or whatever, but if it's a compliment or a real support, it's legit.
It's genuine,
It is real. Whatever it may be, it is real. So
I love that for you guys.
Yep.
I love that so much. You know, as a creative person, we tend to be really hard on ourselves and on our craft. We're always our own worst enemies. So I love that you have the support there, somebody that's there to tell you like, hey, stop.
He pushes
Those things
me.
aren't true.
He pushes me, and you know, like there's been so many times I'm like, man, I sound terrible, and Cody's like, shut up, dude, you sound great. He's great.
That's
push
great.
him back, or does he not require that?
He needs some pushing sometimes. Everybody gets self-conscious. Any artist that I know gets self-conscious. So I mean, yeah, he's got to require a little push here and there too. So it helps out having each other to be able to do that.
I think we both respond better to that from each other than most people in most situations. So we make a good team in that regard, I think.
Well, being bandmates first helped, I would say, more than anything else. Like having got to know each other like before, you know, it was just the two of us. I feel like that was the key to
when
that.
you're really busy, there's a pretty special camaraderie situation going, you know, so
Yep. You rely on each other essentially for a lot of things.
for everything.
That's your brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's my sister.
Hey,
Hey.
You guys fight often? Or never? You guys seem like
Not
very
often.
positive polys. I can't imagine you guys ever.
Pretty chill guys, I'd
Yeah?
say, the two of us.
We've had our moments, but I would venture probably that we have like kind of worked past any hurdles that we really could have.
Yep.
You know, to
Yeah.
I think we have our ways of working through whatever now at this point, probably. So
You got to be able to talk to your friends.
Yeah.
In a sense, like even in a like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, I don't like this thing you're doing. If you can't talk to your friends like that, then
Not
you know,
really your friends.
Yeah, it's not one of your
Story.
friends. Like, you need to be able to criticize each other and take criticism yourself.
Yeah.
From somebody who actually cares about you in order to continue a relationship. So we've both been very, very good about that with each other. So that's helped us as bandmates tremendously.
That's good. And when you guys are on a great level, you make better music. So that's
Yeah,
awesome
absolutely.
for everybody.
absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I still can't think of that question. It's going to drive me
Gone
crazy.
forever.
I'm going to text you guys at 3 a.m. and be like, listen, here's what I need to know. That's okay. It must not have been that important, I guess.
I've been trying not to vape, but like,
You're good.
Okay.
You can vape. It's okay.
Does it make you feel better?
I love everybody's like, wait, where's mine?
Yeah, there we go. Somebody say
You're
vape.
behind the camera. That's too funny.
I don't think it affects anything.
I don't think so.
No.
No, but we can plug.
You guys are smoking meth. I'd have to cut that shit out. But
So what else do you do for fun? You make music together, but what else do you guys do? Any kind of hobby?
Sounds like they're pretty busy. No time for hobbies.
It's
Well, and it's
And it's been winter.
it's an artistry that when you're in deep, you really could be in really deep. You know, all of the most dedicated, serious musicians that I have known are all people that at some point have sat there and played until 6 or 7 or till the morning comes.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
you're passing out on your guitar.
Right. But and many of those have been after somebody's show, hanging out with somebody,
Yeah.
you know, or whatever. And then they're 12 hours of playing music, and you know, people go home because they realize it's the next day, you know, type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's really easy at a certain level of passion to like actually be that invested.
Yeah.
I struggle.
Fully immersed.
I struggle in some social situations where, like, do you know about sports? Do you watch sports? Nope, don't do that.
Did you
Yeah.
say
know,
music? Music?
Yeah.
Music? He's like,
do you play video games? Yeah, I cannot
Yeah.
relate to you there. You know, I'm so limited in other stuff like that because for my early teenage years, it's what I've been doing to such a degree. I spend a lot of time studying music and listening to albums and whatever else on top.
Can you
of...
read sheet music? Can you read
no,
music?
No, not at all.
Dude,
I don't-
nobody can.
I don't know. I don't know
These days.
anything musically, really.
Can you? Don't lie to us
Somewhat,
now.
You know,
oh,
every
look at
good
him
boy
flexing.
deserves fudge, and,
yeah,
I know
I
that,
remember
but-
what I learned from school. I do.
But no, I learned a little bit in elementary school, like everybody does,
Yeah.
playing the recorder. But other than that, it's not really served me as a guitar player, and in a way that I would consider useful. I mean, I could see the use for it for sure.
Yeah.
But
What about tabs and chords? Can you read those?
I can read tabs and chords. So.
Listen, that messes me up when it's like, okay, I get the concept, but it's
Yeah.
another one of those things that is just going to have to click eventually, and it hasn't just yet. But like when they're like, here's some letters, here's some dashes, here's some numbers on these dashes every once in a while.
Yeah.
And you're like, I've only got so many fingers, and it's like, that's the finger you're supposed to use. And then it says 7, and I'm looking at my hand like, that's not accurate. Like, I don't get that one.
I would say when it comes to tablature, I'm definitely better at watching somebody play something and then trying to get it that way than like reading tablature, because it's not my first language when it comes to music. I learned playing guitar from watching my dad do it growing up and watching friends and family do it. So I mean, it's kind of foreign, but in a sense I understand it and I can use it if I need to, but it's much easier to like watch somebody and pick it up that way.
See, I'm so ear oriented that that makes it more difficult for me to catch up with somebody if I'm jumping into something. If I
Yeah.
watch them play, then I'm like focused on what they're doing instead of just hearing what I need to do. So it's interesting that will mess me up or set me back actually sometimes if I'm paying attention to them.
I can see that for sure. And I notice that sometimes, playing so this is essentially my first experience with me and Kodi playing as
Fronting.
as frontman for what's essentially a 2-man band, but I totally get what you're saying. You get lost, like, because I love listening to you play lead guitar. So if I'm sitting there playing rhythm and it gets to a section where he's playing lead, I could essentially get out of time or like lost and like listening to that.
So
like, oh man, that sounds really good. And then before I know it, it's like,
compliment.
oh shit, I'm fucking up.
You're like, I'm here too.
Keep up your end, man.
Yeah.
Get lost in the sauce. That's good times, though. I know what I was going to say. Have you
that?
guys ever been down to the Speakeasy to do jamming? Have you jammed down in the Speakeasy?
One night I showed up too late for it.
Yeah.
And I've seen some music happening there a bunch of times, but I have not been involved in a jam there.
There's a speakeasy?
Yes.
Never heard of
Four
this.
Towns.
Yeah. Have you been to Four Towns?
No, actually. I've not spent a lot of time in Park Hills. When we were in the band, we played at...
I feel like I took you to see somebody there.
I don't think so. We played at, when we were with somebody's dog, we played at the Sand Trap and Bullpen, both of those places. But short of that, I don't really have any familiarity with this town.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you're going to have to get out a little
Yeah,
more.
I guess so.
Come to
I
the
guess so,
area.
for sure.
I feel like Park Hills is where the scene is. This is where we're popping.
It seems that way for sure.
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
does. And it's interesting because what? Why? It doesn't even make sense.
The world wanted music again.
The world wanted music in Park Hills,
Yeah.
Missouri. I'm okay with it.
The world wanted
It's
music
just
and they're
very
running from the major
strange.
cities. it
Yeah.
seems like.
That is true,
There's
yeah.
been a mass exodus in the last, 5-6 years, especially since COVID, from like,
Yeah.
some of these like hot spots of city towns. And so like spots like Park Hills, which are almost like I wouldn't call it a suburb because it's so far away from Festus or in St. Louis, but
Yeah.
It's
you
far
kind of see what
enough,
I'm
but yet
saying.
close
enough
enough,
that,
yeah.
hey, we can still go up there and like do all these things that we enjoy doing, but we'll be away from the
Yeah.
craziness of living
Yeah.
within the city.
And I'm
itself.
sure with Farmington becoming so much more developed, people are like, well, I can live in an area like Park Hills, Deloge, or Bonne Terre
Yep.
and still have the access to the city that is Farmington. They're getting a Bath and Body Works. How stupid is that?
I can't speak
I feel
on
like that
it.
is not a necessity. Of all the things that we could have had,
No.
Bath and Body
Bath
Works.
and Body Works
Especially
is a
since
weird
we got
one.
like resale shops that literally have it
Yes.
stockpiled,
that's
and that's
what I'm
where we get
saying.
it.
Shout out to the Bird's
Yeah.
Nest with all of her stuff over
I
there.
will continue to go there.
Yeah, because it's going to be
I'm
cheaper
going
anyway.
to go there now.
Go to the Bird's Nest.
Yeah, they're in
They
Farmington.
got men's stuff there too.
What is that?
Cool.
It's a little resale shop. She's got all kinds of stuff, but she also has like brand new stuff. Like she
cool.
does have an entire section of like Bath and Body Works. She's got like
the
lotions and
scents, the
sprays
lotions,
and
yeah.
everything. So
candles.
yeah. So if you're looking for a place to grab your girlfriend something, I got two places for you. Copper Fox Contrived.
Yep. Yeah.
361 West Main
That
Street,
one
Park
comes
Hills,
first.
Missouri. Second
Yeah.
one, Bird's Nest.
Heck yeah.
I don't know their address by heart, but you can find it.
Yeah.
Depending on what she's into, head to Smoke to Valhalla.
Yeah, true
Yeah.
story.
What is that exactly?
Smoke to Valhalla. They are a happiness accessories location.
Okay.
So you can buy all kinds
Hell
of fun
yeah.
stuff
That
there.
could
Yes.
mean a whole plethora of things.
It doesn't matter. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
But they have all kinds of stuff in there.
Yeah, they've got like a little apothecary area where you can buy like witchy stuff, like herbs and crystals and spell books. But then they've also got grow supplies. They've got vapes. They've got stationery. They've got some clothes. Just cool stuff, man. It's cool. It's a
I'm
head
with
shop
it. Heck
with
yeah.
extras.
And they're moving location, which is a bigger location. So really, through the next 2 years, watch that place closely
It's gonna boom.
because it's gonna boom.
This
Cool.
is actually, they're moving into their third location within 2 years, not because
Because of
we fucked this
expansion.
one up, but yes, because
Wow.
they've outgrown their spaces.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
they're
not
doing
very
incredible.
common
And
for a
I'm,
business.
I know,
That's
and
pretty
I'm really
cool.
proud of them. We're really proud of
And
them.
he's big on supporting the local music scene and everything too. So
and community, and that's our
in his
vibe. You
future
know,
also.
That's always my first concern.
Yeah, yeah. Figure.
oh gosh.
It's tough to find real good dedicated. I lost my train of thought.
Love it.
What are you talking about? He was gonna talk shit and then he stopped.
Yeah.
so funny.
It's hard to find people who
happens.
dedicated to their craft.
Yeah.
In a sense. So like when you see somebody who's genuinely like enjoying what they're doing and like actually like loves it and they're willing to share it with you in a way that like somebody else who doesn't love it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that resonates with people in a really
Yeah.
positive way. So
Well,
it's good
it's-
to see places like that grow.
Yeah, because even at the opening, you can look at the lineup, and it is every genre of music. They got Grizzly Business is going to be there, Atlas on Fire, Bigfoot, so BT Blaze,
BTH.
the rapper. So they
BTH
got
Blaze.
Cool.
everything.
Heck yeah, that's cool.
I'm with it. Rap music and hip hop really changed my playing a lot, even though I play rock music generally. So I like seeing those crossovers happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's always something cool to do with that.
Let's always see a cool, especially in this area, to see something that's not just the same, stadium country music that we've heard for the last, 20 years of cover bands or whatever else. It's really cool to see all these new bands coming up and presenting their own kind of sound and actually having an avenue to do it. So.
It has been so neat to see all these original artists pop out.
And they're good.
They
and
are
they're
so
and
good.
they're good. Their songwriting is good.
Yes.
And it used to be a struggle. It used to be, at least in my amount of time on the scene, my experience has been that it's been much more of a struggle to pull off playing any original music and have anyone pay attention at all. Mm-hmm. And now we have set openers and set closers that are
original
on fire, and people are still involved in paying attention. That says a lot for me, because I think we're going to continue to see an evolution of the scene where, with COVID and that boom, we have seen a lot of new people. I cannot even keep up with, all the performers that we've got right now, right here, which is crazy to me. But I think what's going to happen is that it will become refined. I think that will narrow back down a little bit, and we'll just see like really, really top performers.
The ones who stuck it out.
The ones who really stick it out,
Well, you're always going to have people that get inspired by seeing all these people out and doing their original content. So you're going to have people that are like, man, I could make original content.
Right.
And some of them are going to do it and it's going to be great. And then some of them are going to try to do it. It's not going to be great. It's not going to go anywhere. So I think we'll definitely see, like you said, a big boom of more original artists to hit the scene, just like when we had the food truck boom last year. We saw 60 food trucks pop up, and then the next week we had 3, So it's going to be the same thing. People get inspired, which is great, especially because people are trying new things. Maybe they never wrote a song before. Maybe they only sang music in their bedroom, and now they're like, I want to be an artist just like Jaycen Wakefield, just like Kodi Hood. That's cool shit, man.
I hope somebody's out there saying that.
I'm sure they are.
I hope so.
Honestly, I'm sure they
I hope
got
so too.
creativity in them. That's what you said yourself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's cool to see that in this area because we haven't, and Chad and Michael talked about this a little bit when we were on the Barn podcast. There was a boom like this. They said 20 years ago, something like that. They had a bunch of original bands. Everybody had a band, and he said it was really cool being the older guy and watching that kind of come back and make full circles. So I'm really glad to be seeing that firsthand and see this new internet era of people, get a chance to express themselves in a way that this area hasn't had access to for very long. It's cool.
Yeah. And I love that, we do have to give credit to the Park Hills Underground, because I feel like they really kind of started this original music boom, because there was no place before they were there for anybody.
Marino's been gone
for a hot minute, you old man. Anyway.
Yeah, I did say that.
Well, he's 24. His 20 years ago, he was 4.
So he wasn't going to Bob
Marino's. I got a really good memory.
But they did.
Yeah,
you're right.
They definitely did, and it kind of started a wave of other places being like, "Hey, you know what? We can also host original music." So you're seeing that now at places like Four Towns and Bullpen, and places in other areas that I go to because I live my life in Park Hills. But
it's definitely cool to see because, as like you were saying, especially around here, it has been hard for original music to get off the ground.
Yeah.
Like it is today. I mean, especially even down where we live, it's still like that. If you go into a bar or a little pub or whatever to play music where we're from, if you're not playing a cover song that somebody was jamming to when they were in high school in the 80s, they're
People
like,
don't
all
care.
right, I'm getting out of this joint.
Yeah.
So I mean,
which is so crazy.
But you're seeing I think that you're seeing more of a pushback against that kind of philosophy. So
I feel like the internet might have helped too, just with all 100%. The hits that would come out by just people that they
TikTok.
were in their room, they recorded it and they put it out there. And we're like, oh wow. And then I think local or places like we could have that walk in the door.
Yep.
If we just let original artists in here and sing, you never know.
You never know. You might find the next big thing.
Made them more open.
Yeah. Been a really cool ride around here. Very excited to be part of it.
Still going.
So how long have you been doing this show?
2 years now?
2 years?
Almost.
Going on 3.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, it's going on 3. 2-year anniversary was like March
Are
or
you
February.
No.
You missed your
Really?
anniversary?
Damn.
Yeah, I had a whole thing made up, but like life gets busy and it just
In
didn't
May,
happen.
right? It'll be 3 years in May?
No.
Because May is our anniversary, so it'll be 2 years in May.
No, it's already been 2 years.
No, it hasn't.
I'm not gonna get on my phone and look.
I
right
know
now.
it hasn't. We're coming up on 2 years.
I was going to ask you, I guess maybe I don't have a super great understanding of
Google guy.
distinction between stuff associated with the barn
Jamie,
and
pull it up.
that podcast versus yours versus one of the others we have mentioned as well.
Let me break it down for you. Chad is our dad. He
Okay.
holds the umbrella. All
Okay.
of his children are the podcasts, and we all huddle around our dad under the umbrella.
Got
That's how it
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But content-wise, it's pretty, kind of loosely based on a lot of similar stuff. I mean,
Well,
obviously
we
you
all
got-
kind of mesh together. We all do our own separate things. We're all wildly different. You've got Vulgar's Play, a podcast. They mostly cover metal music. You've got
Gotcha. So that's what
Dawn,
I'm asking,
who
really.
Well, I
is
guess
Bible
what
talk.
really comes is that they have like a typecast. We don't.
Yeah, we're very
so
variety.
We might
So
pick
we're a little
something
bit of
off of theirs because
everything.
it is
Yeah.
everything. And if something Chad feels like would benefit someone that comes on the barn, he will direct them our way and say, "Hey,
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
you should go on
That's
Tippy
cool.
and Jo Show."
Yeah,
cool. To
but
have a
then we
community
also
like
do
that.
all work together and do podcasts together. Like she
Yeah.
was saying, if we have like
An interview.
Yeah,
And
we've-
then we do it with Chad.
and it'll be like all of us out there or whoever wants to come. If you're
Yeah.
interested in this, no matter what podcast you're part of, come on out and hang out with us.
Cool,
And then
cool.
we all get to be part of it, which is really a really cool little club we're in,
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
pretty
that was
cool.
kind of what I had in mind, but I didn't know if there was more than that or if it was, just that free, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love every bit of it.
We basically do Chad is a great network owner, I guess I would say, because he really allows all of us to do our own thing. He does not direct us in any way. He doesn't tell us we can or cannot do something. He just lets us do, whatever makes you happy, whatever you feel like doing, that's what you got to do.
Chad's a cool guy.
Yeah,
I like Chad
very
a lot.
cool guy.
I like
Yeah.
Chad a lot. No, that's awesome to have.
I've never met somebody that was like Chad Winch. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
No.
you did, then you must be a big dick.
Questions, yeah, red flag, yeah.
True story, man. Yeah.
But no, it's cool to see like a community of this kind of thing popping up around this area.
Yeah.
I'm psyched. I'm
Yeah.
psyched.
I
This
feel like
is-
podcasting and original music kind of came about around the
Yep.
same time, and we're all like in this little journey together, which I love.
that is pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it so much.
The support that I've received and that I've I've given to other musicians just to watch the positive
Yeah.
aspect of this whole movement, to see nobody's like, oh, this person got a night booked here at this place. I can't get a night booked there. There's not any
No
kind
bitter
of like
resentment.
animosity
So silly,
or
yeah.
anything like that. It's all like positive. Like I really enjoy seeing that amongst the circles that we have.
And I do feel like that has been a big attribute of why we are seeing more original content now too, because I feel like musicians in the area are really doing their best to not only be supportive of one another, but to bring people up, like
Yes.
if they have an opportunity and they can't do that, they're going to tell you, because why waste the opportunity and let it go to the wayside when you could do it, which is great because they're not gatekeeping anything. Everybody's making sure that everybody is looked out for.
And just
which I
joining
love.
each other like drummers.
Yeah.
Like we got drummers and they're in they got to play for like 3 bands because they're needed and they don't
Yeah.
want you guys to go without them if you need them. So they're always there.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's cool to
And
watch.
it makes it easier to be that when you are surrounded by a lot of that. So
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
easier.
well, there's
you
so
know.
much talent.
I'm sure I
actual
could-
good talent.
Right. Well, I feel like I'm sure I could be biased in some ways, but it does feel like that part has changed since my earlier days. Although, I guess arguably we were kids, and so probably there's been some skill development along the way. And
Same age? Are you guys same age?
I'm a couple of years older. I'm 29.
He's 29.
He's like, I thought I was the shit,
Yeah.
got older, found out I wasn't that much the shit, but I fixed it. Now it is the shit.
I asked him the other night. I said, Kodi, is this song good, or is it too too young crowd for you? It's like being that you're an old man now. I give him shit sometimes, but
Oh, that's great.
Well, I'm 10 years your senior and I don't feel old.
Don't make that sound.
I couldn't tell.
Edit that out.
I really couldn't tell.
It's okay over there. It's okay.
I really couldn't tell.
Thanks.
Yeah.
He's like, because you're so fucking immature.
You stop. You're too funny.
No animosity.
Yeah, but I've said this a million times, but a rising tide lifts all boats. So make sure that you are always doing your part to help out your neighbors because why the fuck not, you know?
Yeah, if you're not, then you're just an asshole.
Yeah. If you're not, you probably got some
Yeah,
issues.
you're probably mad at yourself.
Yeah.
You know, if you're that kind of
therapy.
person. Yeah. It's very accessible these days.
Totally is. Yeah. You guys take care of yourselves mentally? I hope so.
I mean,
Take
I play
breaks
music,
and whatnot.
so.
Yeah,
We are
of course.
musicians.
That's your outlet, your
That's-
mental health outlet. Absolutely.
Yeah, we are musicians though, you know, so.
You can't. I mean, the kind of music that we write or that I write and we write together.
That's
Like
giving
you
me a
can't
lot of
exactly
credit.
be in the best mindset to write that stuff. So
Yeah.
like you almost gotta. It's almost self-destructive in a sense.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like it's a good outlet. A good way to turn it positive. You know what I mean?
That is any kind of creative outlet is a great way to kind of blow off steam and reset yourself.
Yeah.
So that's good. Yeah.
That's a common response, but I have to point out the opposite for myself. All of my best work is usually going to be when I'm in good spirits.
Yeah.
If I'm like really down, I'm probably not playing a lot, and I'm probably not enjoying what I'm playing. And
Yeah.
So I think that it is probably pretty rare, but
Well, that's kind of handy, though. You got one that likes to write when
Yeah.
they're kind of in a dark space. One that's like, nah, I need a... So, much
it can
perfect
be. Yeah,
blend.
that can work to your benefit at times.
Yeah.
But it can also make it difficult to collaborate at your best too, you know.
When you're like, I want this song to be happy, and he's like, no, trust me. It's
I
doom
can't.
and
I'm different on
despair.
that
I can't
too.
do it.
I'm different on that too because even very sad, depressing, or you know, whatever type of song, if it's beautiful, then it's still happy to me. And
Yes.
that has a very different
get
like.
what you're
There's
saying.
there's no sad songs bringing me down if they're really beautiful. I'm still
Yeah, I
getting
gotcha.
a relief from that. So
feeling.
I'm weird about both of those things.
That's the whole avenue of sad music. I feel like like I don't feel like anybody listens to sad music because they want to be sad.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think people
feel like
do.
they want something. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there.
Or because they're already sad. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I put
I
on a
guess
sad
they
song, and I
want an
didn't intend
avenue.
on being sad, but here I
Yeah.
am. Now I'm sad.
Well, it might be relatable in a sense, like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah. There are a lot of songs that are so upbeat and sound so fun and are such a vibe. And then you look at the lyrics and you're like, damn, that's deep. Like, that's dark. Yeah. So it could go either way. Beautiful songs.
I'm trying to see when the first episode was aired because I'm not going to be able to nod. So commence talking. I'm not being rude. What?
What?
Said 1 year ago.
From you.
So it's
For you. For you.
It was on the phone.
it was on the bar.
We're on our own timeline.
Yeah, I'm positive we're coming up on 2 years.
Well, then she asked me to make something months ago, guys.
She said you missed their anniversary, so
Yeah.
We may have. We did last
doesn't-
year.
it's not like
We didn't
it
do anything
matters.
fancy.
I don't know
for
when
it.
me and Cody's anniversary is. Cody, you know?
Just pick a day. It don't even matter. Just do whatever you want. It's your life.
I'm not getting you a
There
present.
it is.
Oh shit!
You better get him flowers or something.
He just broke my heart.
Downstairs.
I'm gonna go write a
That's
song
right,
about
guy.
this.
He gonna write a song about it. Oh gosh, Cody, I imagine when you're writing a song, I see you belly down, feet up, pen in hand, just a giggling, yes,
Ooh.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I can see.
Is that accurate?
I can see how. No, it's not. But I can see how you could reach that kind of. How you could form that mental picture.
like this. You know what I mean?
It's probably. Yeah. I'd probably get a lot more songwriting done.
You should try a little tummy time. It's good for adults.
Yeah. Probably the better picture really is like very serious look and just like writing and not responding to any outside stimuli at all, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I've learned if I say
just
3
going.
words to Cody and he doesn't respond, it just, hey, time to shut up. Like he's doing something.
Do you have ADHD?
unreachable.
Not diagnosed with that, but in adulthood I've realized I have a lot of those tendencies, yes.
Yeah.
Including
That puts you in
hyperfocus.
yeah. Do not talk to somebody who has ADHD when they are
Yep.
focused on a project.
Because the only time I'm getting anything
you, I'm
done, I
doing
have
things.
to.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to make somebody very angry.
This bitch is right. It's May 19, 2025. Will be 2
Damn,
years.
you're holding all this resentment
Okay.
for her missing
I
y'all's
know,
anniversary.
That's what she was like, 3 years. Well, I thought it was
I'm like,
baby,
baby,
no.
no.
March, and then we just kept having more guests. So what I was making had to be updated, but now it needs updated again. But I won't have it out there.
Do you guys ever fight?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About stupid shit. We ladies, we fight all the time.
Yeah, that was like I was saying. I was going to become a gender thing. Men and
Actually,
women.
we haven't fought in a long time.
Or wait, was that
Probably
the right
about 3
term?
weeks? So
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna panic about whether gender was the right terminology because who knows anymore. It's I try to keep up, but
It's 2025. This is a progressive. This is a progressive conversation.
well that probably means I just fucked up somehow.
No.
No,
Just by even
no,
touching on the
progressive in the
subject.
progressive in the definitionary sense.
Definitionary.
Definitionary. That's a new word. I made
He's just
it. Look
making
it
shit up. I love
Yeah.
it.
Look it up.
That's so funny. I'm progressive in the definitionary sense.
Yeah. My mom's an English teacher. She'll probably watch this. And
Oh
get
my
mad.
gosh, that's
Yeah.
too funny. You're
Just
gonna get
kidding.
grounded.
She will not watch this. She won't see it.
You got supportive people in your life for your music? Is your girlfriend? She come to your shows and what not?
Yeah, she tries to make it to them when she
Yeah.
can. Like I said before, I'm a father before
Damn
musician.
kids.
So,
Yep,
yeah,
I hear
it's-
that.
We've got our hands full most of the time,
Yeah.
but she's very good at holding down that side of things so that I
Nice.
can pursue this in a more professional sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not without its hiccups and its bumps in the road, but I think between the two of us, we do a very good job of balancing that out.
That's great. Yeah.
And I'm sure it'll get easier.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Well, after a while, no matter what you're doing. See, I took a job on the road a couple years ago, so I work in Illinois through the week, and then I'm home every weekend. But at the beginning of something like that, it seems so foreign. It's just so weird. Like, here I am out of my element. But after a while, the normalcy sets in, and then
Routine
it becomes
and-
You
it becomes
acclimate
like
to
any
it.
other thing. So it's I feel like you said, over time it works itself out.
Yeah.
It becomes easier.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to check the time. So, are you excited to play some music for us today?
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd messaged you, I guess probably yesterday morning. It was, not feeling a little under the weather. So I was like unsure, but, woke up today. I feel much, much better.
Good.
We
I'm
are
glad to
very
hear
At
that.
least
Glad.
the pollen has been terrible this year. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But-
Well, we're super stoked to hear you guys get into it. But before we go, could you please tell us one more time where we can find you on social media?
You guys can find us on Facebook at Single Lane Productions and Jaycen Wakefield. It's spelled Jaycen, and on Instagram at Jaycen.music.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. It has been a pleasure.
Us
Thank
too,
you.
for sure. Thank you.
And let's listen to some music.
Hi, I'm Jaycen Wakefield. This is Kodi Hood. We're formerly, I guess, known as Wakefield, but you guys can find us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I guess TikTok, Jaycen Wakefield, and on Instagram it's Jaycen.music. So we're going to start with this song, and so far I haven't got a name for it, so I guess it's just Untitled. Cigarettes and burnt breath. I tell you, but I'm asking for a slow death. I miss this, but regret everything you said, but can't let go yet. So it's like you say you need. I tell you, but you know that you can't trust me to help a friend or plant a seed. Selfishness just always seems to exceed the existential lovely signs of a battered soul and a shattered mind. Think about you all the time. Late night, stage fright. You put me on the spot, now I can't act right. I miss this decline. The whole of my embrace before it's our time. Say I brought you to your knees. I was on my to you, just couldn't see. Hate to say you're bad for me, 'cause I crave your love. selfishness just always seems to exceed the existential lovely signs of a battered soul and a shattered mind. Think about you all the time. Tell you, but I'm asking for a slow death.
Woo! Thank you guys. Yeah, Jaycen.
Snotty nose fixed. Alright, so this next song is called Bruises. Like this, it's hard to tell. Start to talk, you start to yell. You take it all out on me. Bruises, bruises, beat me down and take my heart. Bruises, bruises, it's all over for a short. Bruises, bruises, break away from this mess. Bruises, bruises. Whitewashed love is hard to find, but it seems so far that I've been blind. Took for granted all the times you just stood there and gave me bruises, bruises, left a scar on my chest. Bruises, bruises, got no patience left. Bruises, bruises, break away from this mess. Bruises, bruises. I'm so over it, baby. Bruises, bruises, left a scar on my chest. Bruises, bruises, got no patience left. Bruises, bruises, break away from this mess. Bruises, bruises, done with all your bullshit. So I took a job over the road 2 years ago, and I have a 4-year-old son named Jude, and it's been a little hard on him, and it's been hard on me being away from him because it was always just me and him like that before. But I wrote him this song to, I guess he's him and he's myself, so this is called While There's Time. Because I lied when I said it, but you
from the things that I did. I don't retrace all of the steps that I made. That's just life. We live, regret, and learn, and then we die. Hear me screaming out, saying this was not the plan. I feel heavy now, lost without your hand. What sense is it to keep this marching on? I'm so sick of this. A reason for marching is gone. Day's gone, don't you forget it. You stayed strong. I'll fast for a minute, the wait's long. Remember what we used to say. Can't change time. So hold on through the worst, you'll be just fine. It's just life. So hold on through the worst, you'll be just fine.
Now I can.
We talked on the podcast a little bit about songs that I wrote years ago, how it is to relate to them now that I'm older and I'm in a different spot in life. This is one of those that I wrote a long time ago, and I relate to it in the sense that I understand the nostalgia surrounding it and like where I was at that point in life. So this is called What's Your Price for Life?
What's your price for life? Doesn't mean none back to fight.
Hold on. I fucked it up already. I'm sorry.
You're good, you're good.
Price for life. Knew that the
One second. Let me get in the headspace for this. I'm sorry.
You're fine, dude. Dude, I always fuck up.
See, this
Ask
is
my
what
bandmates.
I'm trying to relate.
What do you play?
Nostalgia here?
Guitar. Shittily, but not really. That's what I hear, but I like to think that it's shittily, but it's not that. Modest.
What's your price for life? Well, if I knew that, then I would buy mine back a little bit at a time. I'm losing my mind, staying up all night, thinking whose fault am I? It's hard to describe when the time's not right, but we just have to try. 'Cause if I lose you, then I lose my mind. Feeling in my veins, it's just that lost cause feeling. It's always the same. and it's only me to blame. Just keep pushing on, they say the truth's in the pain, but I miss the crack in my voice when I sing to you. Just the way that your eyes, they stole my gloom. What happened? I'm feeling ecstatic, my mind is erratic, I just can't hack it. So what's your price for life? Oh, 'cause I need my back to fight tooth and knife, because I tried in spite of the man I was. I didn't treat you right, and so help me find a way. I wouldn't if I could, you know that I would be brave, because I missed the way you made me feel, man. So I heard you moved on. Happy for you, don't get me wrong, but does he write your songs? Does he reach you for hours when the feelings are gone? And does it brighten up your day? Hearing the songs on the radio ones we play, because I feel the rain. Love the way I was yesterday, and so what's your price for life? Oh, 'cause I need my back to fight tooth and knife, because I tried in spite of the man I was. I didn't treat you right, and so help me find a way. If I knew how, then I would do it today, because I miss the way I felt yesterday. Still not for sure if love's lost its meaning, or if you're the cure, or maybe I'm immature. The singer I was when it made you endure all the pointless pain. I can't be that guy, 'cause I don't feel the same, because I sing in vain. Love the way I was yesterday. What's your price for life? Well, if I knew that, then I would buy my back. One piece at a time. I'm losing my mind, staying up all night, thinking whose fault am mine? It's hard to describe when the time's not right, but we just have to try. Because if I lose you, then I lose my mind.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Once again, I'm Jaycen Wakefield. This is Kodi Hood. We're formerly known as Wakefield. Find us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all that at Jaycen Wakefield, Jaycen Wakefield at Facebook, and then TikTok and Instagram, I believe, is Jaycen.music. So hit us up, follow us, and thank you guys.